The guys at the Kind of Funny Gamecast were talking about RPGs recently, and they posed the question: is the RPG the greatest genre of video game? And I know we here aren't huge fans of the Japanese, especially RPGs. We've all played the American ones sort of to death. My question is, specifically with the Japanese RPG, do you feel like those games are now outdated as a format? Because they were made in a time when you couldn't have the type of games that we have nowadays that are more fluid, that let you actually do the actions of the games.
Well, break down what the difference is between a Japanese RPG and an American RPG.
It isn't like Xenoblade, like that's technically a...
That segue sucked.
That's a Japanese RPG.
It wasn't a segue, that was my point. But it's so, I'm anti-segue. Okay, so the difference between a Japanese RPG and an American RPG. You think traditionally an American RPG is more of an action RPG? Something more of an Elder Scrolls type game?
Okay.
Generally, they usually have more of a hack and slash type of, you actually have to do the actions to get the outcome, as opposed to choosing an attack, choosing a magic spell or whatever else, and watching it unfold.
So the Japanese style is more like the turn-based style.
Exactly.
Okay.
Traditionally, anyway. Obviously, there are different mixes and melds of those throughout time, but those sort of games of traditionally picking what you want to do in a turn-based style, it comes out of like a Dungeons and Dragons style of game. So it's very, very traditional. So nowadays we don't need to hold it to that traditional style, which a lot of people nowadays find boring.
Right.
Because you sit there and you wait and you plan, and I mean, I love it personally because I've been playing those forever, but I could see how an 11-year-old nowadays doesn't find anything fun in that. It's a lot of strategy.
24-year-old now don't find anything fun in that.
You're sort of like an 11-year-old. So
there's a game called Hands of Fate, and it sort of plays off the Dungeons and Dragons card dealing kind of game, but with the cards dealt dictates the type of character you play as, and whenever you encounter an enemy, it goes into a real-time battle.
Okay.
Where the weapons you get in the cards and the character you get in the cards and your stats actually affect the actual real-time fight. Mm-hmm. So it kind of takes that JRPG, Dungeons and Dragons model, and then flips it on its head by taking all those stats and those attributes that you accumulate into a real-time battle.
Right. It's more like perks at that point. Sorta.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the point of that is that nowadays there's RPG elements in everything, right? Like you see how many games have been influenced by RPGs throughout time. So that's why I even asked the question of, does the Japanese RPG, still need to exist? Because we have so many of the elements in current games. No. And that's coming from somebody that actually really does love and enjoy that type of game.
What do you think, Adam?
Me?
Yes.
I think it does still need to exist for people like me, but I think it is eventually going to wean itself out. Because you look at like the new Final Fantasy game, the previews they have for that, it doesn't look like a turn-based strategy or RPG.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
It doesn't
from
look
what
like
I've
it
seen
at all.
From the gameplay, it's not.
About time.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people just hate that style of game. So
because it's boring.
It is boring.
There's got to be a good amount of fans still, because I mean, like Fire Emblem and Earthbound and
right.
games like that are still like really popular. So
but those are classics, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. So I mean, maybe it's only if it's a classic.
Yeah, I mean, I play I've talked about Final Fantasy VII before, but I mean, all the Final Fantasy games before this new one. Well, I think there was one recent one that was kind of like an action RPG. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
There's the online one that is a little different.
I would play a turn-based, Japanese style RPG for the nostalgia of it. But if ever since Kingdom Hearts, I'd rather that style of RPG.
Or a Japanese RPG, Call of Duty. Let's see what that was.
I want to throw as many games.
Encounter an enemy.
What
do you do? Shoot, or stab.
Those are the only options.
Yeah. No, I hate JRPGs, and they can suck my dick.
Well,
all right. getting real spicy right now.
Okay.
I think more to your question though. What do you think is the best genre of video game?
That's tough. I'd say probably an action game because I mean it can incorporate the RPG elements. Something like Mordor, you know, like specifically an open world action game. I feel like gives you the most bang for your buck, and can be everything you want it to be. You know,
yeah.
It can encompass so many things within that format. So I think that's the future of gaming. I think that the more that we get into it, the more games just kind of meld into each other, and we get elements of everything. You know, in a game like GTA, you get a driving game, you get a shooter, you get an online multiplayer game. You know, and just I feel like that's the way of the future. You're not going to have these. The only way you're going to have like a very individualized type game is when you're getting like an indie experience.
Right.
And that's where those will exist. But from now on, you'll see more and more of these open world action adventure games.
Yeah,
I mean, it does suck because it is fading out specific types of games. Like the first person shooter is no longer the exclusively first person shooter. Battlefield, Call of Duty all have, you know, driving vehicle elements or some sort of
RPG elements,
right? Or sort of some RPG leveling up element that, you know, was never in existence before Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
Now we're on like 12.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing.
That's what I was gonna say. It is a good thing because we're getting better games,
right.
And more interesting games. It's mixing up the format a bit.
Right. I mean, you could buy one racing game, one first person shooter, and one RPG, or you could buy one game that has all of those elements.
Turning into
Grand
like
Theft Auto 5.
The Walmart consumer market. Like, why go to one store when I can get everything at Walmart?
I mean, it works for Walmart.
So yeah, that's what games. That seems like that's the games that are doing the best.
Yeah, I mean, my only fear is that these elements are just going to end up watered down.
Yeah.
In games, like look at GTA 4, like the driving that was horrible, and eventually they took the time to really dedicate to making a good driving experience. But you know, if you get a game like, I mean, this isn't really fair to have a comparison, but like Gran Turismo next to it, there's no comparison because it's a very dedicated game. So I think, you know, there will always be a market for JRPGs, turn-based strategy games, and all, you know, all these different things. Oh well, maybe when people that grew up on them die out, then
it'll be over.
Then it'll be over.
It's fucking done.
But I mean, I
can't wait for that day.
I'm still super excited for the new Persona, and you guys know that. Yeah. And that's gonna be a turn-based. Okay, I'm done. Over it.
I mean, you're gonna be playing Persona for the next couple of years.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you beaten Persona?
Nope.
What happened with that again?
Cough right on that mic, man. Get right in there and just cough right on
It's my fucking microphone. I'll cough on whatever I want to. God damn it! Got my name on it. Sorry. You're right. I apologize.
Got possessed by the weirdest ghost.
Persona.
Yeah. Oh my God, Marco, stop it!
Jesus Christ!
He at least used his arm that time.
Yes, it's true.
He still leaned towards it as it happened.
I tried to go down.
Persona.
Persona's good. I like it. Moving on.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts better.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
That's coming out too, so
yeah,
excited for that.
Yeah.